Right, time for the scientific tests. Give it a little rev, let's hear it. Hello, and today it's Land Rover Day, which is exciting, and you can see I've got dirty hands. It's standard with a Land Rover, and we're going to convert this wicked air intake system into this even more wicked air intake system in a few easy steps. And also we've got a few other little bits that we're going to show you along the way, bits that we don't like that we've taken off and bits that we've improved. But yes, it's Land Rover action, and look at it, it's a beast. 35-inch tyres, lockers all round. So a lot of people ask me, can I put a 606 in a 200 or a 300 or a TD5 or a Puma? Right, our kit is based on a 200 TDI Defender. The transmission in a 200 TDI Defender, the LT77, is quite short, and the whole engine is mounted really quite far back, which is absolutely fantastic because it means that you've got loads of room at the front and it's just a very, very good fit. So we've based our complete kit around the 200 TDI and early 2.5 Defenders. And you can buy everything from us that just makes that bolt in and happen. Mounts, adapter plates, alternator bracket, you know, everything you want. This is a little bit different. This is a 300 TDI. Now, the 300 TDI is quite different. It has a much longer bell housing, so the engine sits further forward as standard. So if you just directly stick a 606 straight onto a 300 TDI, the engine ends up really far forward. So, after lots of jiggery pokery, we've found that the best solution is to swap your standard R380 300 TDI version for the R380 Stumpy from Ashcroft. We do adapters for that. It's basically the same as the LT77. And to move that engine back. Now, there aren't any off-the-shelf engine mounts for that application. The only off-the-shelf direct engine mounts that exists are our 200 TDI versions, and now we're making some 300 TDI versions for this. We've got a few other little bits to fix on this. This had a much larger radiator and intercooler that we've changed back to something that fits. And obviously our radiator intercooler kit comes with all the pipes and the hoses and everything to make that fit. The alternator bracket was originally another company's, that broke. I think it was quite thin, just fabricated version. So that's been changed to this, which is a bit more robust. But also, this pipe here, which is a coolant relocation pipe, I believe the bracket is broken on this, is it? Somewhere at the back. I don't know if you can see it in there. But basically that's going to get taken off because that's in the way of the airbox. Now obviously this is just a very, very temporary system while this has kind of been loosely put together. I am partly to blame for the reason why the customer hadn't fitted that, because I kept promising him an airbox and I kept selling them all. So anyway, I finally have an airbox, and today we're going to put one on, but it means we have to move this, but it's broken anyway, so that's cool. What else? Oh yes, the mounts. So the owner of this, we'll say that his name is Tom, made his own engine mounts for this application, mounting arm brackets, and I gave him a little bit of guidance on where I would mount it, and he's kind of then taken it the next step and actually done it and made some really nice mounts, and this engine sits in a really great position. He was previously using some mounts from another company that were like a kind of, I'm assuming like a universal sort of mount or something. I don't know what they were. They weren't direct fit for one or another, but it made the engine really, really low on the front end, which caused problems with the prop shaft and all sorts of other stuff. So I gave him a few parts, and he's welded up, he's fabricated his own mounts and put that engine where it is, and you can see as it sits, it's absolutely perfect, it's brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those off, check them out, make some dimensions, and then hopefully we'll be able to give you guys a 300 TDI mount, which is thanks to the customer, which we're going to call Tom. Right, I suppose we better get to work. So long for now. Have you never seen a man slip tape under an injector pipe before?
No, never.
No, well, yeah.
No first for everything.
What I like to do is apply the tape to the oily surface, and you know full well that if you just gently pushed it, it'd fall off anyway. But that's just how we roll. Oh, and also, let's tape up that, so we don't want anything falling there. What I hate, you know, people that just, oh, I don't need to tape it up, I don't need to cover it up. Straight away they drop a 10mm nut in it.
Fires it straight into inlet manifold.
Yep, straight in.
And
Ruins
then
the engine, and then they blame everyone else. They say, oh, it's because the turbo was shit, and it's because the pump were no good. And it was just because they didn't tape up their inlet pipe. Learn the hard way, that's what I say. Right, cool. So what are we doing in there? Why are we taking the inlet off? Because we're going to take off this beautiful mount that Tom made, and we're going to replicate it. We're not going to replicate these like folded over bits, because all they do is whack onto the chassis, but the rough ballpark shape for the, so we can mount a 300 TDI directly, sorry, a 606 directly into a 300 TDI. Right, so here we have an airbox, and if you haven't seen one of these before, this is like a ceramic coated heat shield, which shields the heat from the turbo area, which sits below, and a nice big air filter inside. And then it has a 3-inch entry hole. Now this is why I'm making this video, because we have a little issue. Again, we do have these little issues with Land Rovers. So basically I've designed this to fit in there, which it does. That's all good, no problems at all with that. That goes in there perfect. And as you can see, the heat shield, it like shields the turbo, the heat from the turbo into the airbox. Then the 3-inch pipe, which is in the right place, because that's where it's all meant to go. This was all designed on my 200 TDI version, which is there. Yeah. 3-inch pipe, which feeds the airbox, comes along and into the wing vent. Now Tom, who was just taking the snorkel off just to check everything was good, has said, bit of a concern. And I kind of have to agree with him, because if you look in that hole, that's not a very, very big hole. Like, look, 2 fingers, 3 fingers. She's only 3 fingers. And personally, I don't think that's enough. I want to get a fist through that really, for the kind of airflow that we need on this vehicle. So what should we do? I think we'll probably fit it anyway, because obviously it needs the snorkel currently. But we're certainly going to have to redesign that so that it's bigger and has a, I mean, because the hole through the wing is great, it's massive. You get loads of airflow through there. So we just need a bigger pocket, bigger socket, pocket, whatever, at the back, that we can, you know, get a nice bit of airflow through. Then, next problem, next restriction potentially is the snorkel. But to be fair, I think this is pretty decent. I mean, it has a slot all the way around, which goes, you know, if you calculate the volume of that, that does look pretty decent. I would say that is a fistful. And there isn't really a section where it narrows too much, so I think that's going to be good. I don't think we're going to have an issue with that snorkel, but that is going to be an issue. So, we're going to have to make a new one. Anyway, we're going to carry on fitting this, and we're going to carry on making sure those mounts are all sorted. And then, yeah, it can be on its merry way. Okay, so what Tom rightly just informed me of is when these snorkels go on, they hook into the bottom of this. They actually hook in. So we can't just make a direct socket, it has to be a recessed pocket, which does make things more fun, because obviously you need to get a cutter around the back if it was going to be billet, or you'd have to have like a large cup with a plate on the front if it was going to be fabricated. So that makes things a little bit more fun, but it's still doable. Yeah, slots on there like that, and then it attaches up there. Cool, okay, no problem. Well, yes, that isn't going to be for this video, of course. We're just getting the airbox on and a few other fancy bits done, but maybe for another. There's always a challenge with the Land Rover. I don't think you're going to put one shiny bit on and it'll match another bit. No. That's what I thought was going to happen with that, and then ended up being a complete restoration. So what we're making now, we're supposed to be going home at dinner time, and now it's like 12 o'clock at night. We're making this, it's for Tom's wing intake, because like I showed you, that back section was way too small. So rather than getting all crazy and making something billet right now, we're making this, and I'm just going to weld it round. And what else is going on? Now bolting the engine mount on, and then we're putting the airbox on. But yeah, so a little bit of tiggy wiggy is what's going on. Oh, bloody lovely. See, what's happened here is I've had to let the professional do the welding. Right, so if you've ever thought about buying one of our Land Rover airboxes, this is what you got to do. You got to bolt up the ceramic coated heat shield first. As you can see, Ed China there is putting it on. Give the kids a wave, Ed. Don't worry, I haven't shown your face, it's just your hands.
Thanks. Means a lot.
You're supposed to make yourself sound like Ed China.
I don't know how he sounds.
I know, actually. Hello,
Oh, mate.
Oh, mate.
Oh, mate.
So that needs all tightening up. And then once that's tight, we bolt the airbox to the side of it. There's one of them. And you can see, look, I've got some in stock. Hooray! And then we're going to put an air filter in it, which is exciting. It's been a busy day, hasn't it?
Very busy.
Very busy. Right, so we've made a temporary little wing vent. This might be something we'll offer in the future. Obviously, it might be a bit nicer looking than this. But basically, this gives us a 3-inch entry through the wing, down this convoluted tube and into the actual airbox. And then obviously this airbox is totally sealed. This is going to have a Perspex lid on it, which you'll see when we finish. And then that goes into the turbo. And obviously all the underneath of this is shielded with this ceramic guard. So you've got a giant filter with some really nice cold air coming in through the wing. So that not only helps with power production, it makes obviously a big difference to power production, but it really helps with keeping the engine cool. When you're pulling hot air from inside the engine bay, that just amplifies and creates overheating issues. Whereas as soon as you've got this, you know, you're in a better position. Then what we've done is we've just put 2 holes in the bottom of this plate to be able to put the tangs for the snorkel in, and then with a foam seal around there or some sealant or whatever we decide to do temporarily, that'll just seal onto there and we can use the snorkel. But yeah, it's coming together really quickly and really nicely, and I just wanted to show you that before it goes in. So no rocket science, but it's just a temporary measure. Yeah, so long.
Thanks for that.
Hello. Oh, it's coming together. You know when the inlet manifold's going on, it's going to be running soon. Little bit of cable ties now. And this Land Rover is ready to hit the road again. Ooh, and look at that. 2 nice little slots ready for the snorkel to go into wherever. Where has the snorkel gone?
In the back.
Oh. What's this like sombrero on the top?
That is the sombrero.
I love that.
That's your go slower hat.
Is that for if the ship sinks?
No,
it explodes.
What happens when you fit a 606 into a Land Rover, it goes that fast, you need something to slow it down, and that is...
That's not true. I think it's because you need that to sleep in when it breaks down. Oh, no, I'm not supposed to be the one that says that, am I?
No,
oh, well.
It's what break down.
Ah, no. These seats are so nice. I really want them in my life. How come your Land Rover's got those seats and mine hasn't? Well, mine doesn't even have seats at all, but... So this is the big road test, isn't it? Have you got the heater on so you know the coolant's going round? Oh, he knows what he's doing, this lad. You can tell he's worked on a vehicle before. How have you done that then?
Dropped it, lad.
Yeah.
Bashed it.
In the till?
In the till.
at that. Imagine looking out of your windscreen at that gorgeous airbox. That would be a sight, wouldn't it? Lovely. Ashcroft R380 Stumpy. Very, very nice transmission. And we're on our way. But she pulls well, lad. She pulls well. You've got to love how smooth these things are once 6-cylinder converted. That is one nice thing about the 606. They are so smooth. I do like the 200 TDI and the 300 TDI, but it's smooth. You reckon? You reckon Tom? The guy that could be called Tom?
Smooth rider.
Smooth?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Better. Lots better.
Lots better?
Yeah. Thanks to the innovators at DieselPumpUK.
Yay! DieselPumpUK. It's not true what they say about us on the forums we're not allowed on.
Like hitting a guy with no arms.
It is, yeah. Are you going to give it some? Oh, it's... That does feel quite fruity, that. Yeah. A bit of body roll. He loves it, doesn't he? He's trying not to grin. He's like this. Right, let's hear it coming past with the airbox. Oh, he's giving it some. Lovely. Nice. It's cleaned the smoke up as well. Nice cold air intake. You can't ask for more than that. That is beautiful. I think he's very happy. This is a private road, by the way. That is a loner. A learner. A loner. Might be a loner. Here he comes up. Right, time for the scientific tests. Give it a little rev, let's hear it. A bit more. Oh yeah. Nice. Nice. That was the scientific test. Obviously, dirty snorkel mark. Happy?
Happy.
Yeah.